Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. I hope all of you are keeping well. Now today we're going to get into a discussion regarding the Carabao Cup final. I said I'd do a review for it after the game, so that's what we're going to be discussing today. Chelsea lost by a goal to nil after extra time, and obviously being a Chelsea fan, I was very disappointed, but also wasn't surprised as well. I think most people, logically thinking, weren't really expecting us to win that game. Liverpool are by far the better team than we are, and they have been for a good few years now. But you always have the hope going into a game, especially a final, a one-off at Wembley, that we might be able to do it. And having watched the game and had a chance over the last couple of days to reflect on it and analyse it properly, we really did have a chance to win that game. And Chelsea blew it. They blew it. I think we played all right for the first 90 minutes. I'm going to say we in this video just from a Chelsea fan's perspective, and not kind of go Chelsea or they, just for, for the purpose of the video. We played all right for the 90 minutes. We had a good few chances, clear-cut chances. Obviously having the goal disallowed, Sterling's goal disallowed for a marginal offside against Nicholas Jackson. We had it in the last final against Liverpool back in 2022 as well, and it was nearly similar, the margin of the offside, so that was frustrating, but it is what it is. We had chances to Gallagher, Cole Palmer, literally one-on-one chances or point-blank range chances, and we didn't take them, and that's been a problem for us for a good few years now, and it comes back to bite us every time, and that's exactly what happened. I thought going into extra time, with the amount of the injuries that Liverpool had, their lack of options off the bench, they had about 5 or 6 academy players on the bench. Klopp brought them all on, and what do? They go and win it, because Chelsea decided to just throw in the towel at extra time. They didn't want to go for the game. They didn't want to win it. We were playing for penalties. It was pretty clear to see. And then Pochettino comes out after the game and says that the team thought it would be better if we went to penalties, and then backtracked on it a day or so ago. So I don't know which it is, but I think it was clear to see for most fans that we were playing for penalties. We showed no desire to go forward against the Liverpool reserve team. It's pretty poor, to be honest. I was pretty peed off at the end of the game, because it was our best chance to win a cup final. We would never get a better chance against the Liverpool team to beat them in a cup final, and we blew it. And to concede with literally a minute and a half left of extra time was a killer. It won the game. I mean, it was going to be one of those games where a goal was going to do it. It was never going to be a high scoring game. Cup finals never are, especially between Chelsea and Liverpool. But that's the frustrating thing, because I knew one goal would win it, whether it be in the 90 minutes or whether it had been in extra time. I don't think it would have really mattered. And we had the chances to go 1-0 up, and I think if we did go 1-0 up, I think we would have gone on to win it, to be quite honest. I think, as I know we didn't, play out of our skin and, play Liverpool off the park. I don't think Liverpool were that good either, but people will give them slack for that because they're missing half their team, and half the squad they brought on that actually finished the game were all academy players. So we played an incredibly depleted Liverpool side, and still, somehow managed to be scared of them, which I can't really understand. I thought Poch's substitutions, and not for the first time I've said this this season, just baffled me. I don't know why, when you need a goal, you're bringing off Cole Palmer. I really don't get it. And Conor Gallagher as well. Look, I'm not Conor Gallagher's biggest fan. I think in any other Chelsea squad throughout the years, he'd be a squad player. And the fact that he starts every week and has captained the team on numerous occasions just speaks volumes of where we are at as a club. We're finished. We are finished. And it's so frustrating because this was our chance this season. This was our only chance to win a trophy and to actually give Poch a bit of, leeway and a bit of kind of, time, I think. But now we're only hoping winning anything is the FA Cup. And let's be frank, we're not going to win that. We have a tough game tonight against Leeds. There's no guarantees we even win that. So how can we even think about winning the FA Cup, especially with the likes of Man City still in it, Newcastle still in it, etc., etc. So it was incredibly frustrating. We needed that League Cup win. We needed it more than Liverpool, and it didn't really seem like it, especially in extra time. That extra time period just drove me up the wall, and I don't think I'll ever be able to fully comprehend it or really forgive Poch for approaching that extra time period in the way that he did, of being so negative, just unwilling to attack, and just allowing, the game to kind of peter out and go to a penalty shootout. And the defending and the marking in the box for both the goals. Liverpool had a disallowed goal as well. Van Dijk scored twice, but one of them was disallowed for Endo being in an offside position and interfering with play. But having Ben Chilwell mark Van Dijk and then Mudryk mark Van Dijk for the two corners that he actually got his head to it and scored is just beyond, comprehension. I can't understand who or why that decision was made. Like, who made that decision or why that was made. You have Disasi, Colwill as your two centre-backs. They should be marking Van Dijk, not Mudryk, who's barely been on the pitch and is like 5'0", and then Chilwell, who's like 5'10" or something, against Van Dijk, who's like 6'4", 6'5". I don't know. I really don't know. To be quite honest, I feel like after that game, the season's kind of a bit of a write-off. So it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of the season goes. Now, I've said this from the get-go that I don't think Poch is a Chelsea manager. I was never keen on him in the first place. I think everything that he says in his press conferences and after games is just a very kind of, it resembles like a yes man who just will bow down or bend over to everything that the owners say to him or tell him to say. And he just doesn't represent what a Chelsea manager should be. When you look at the Tuchels and the Mourinhos and the Ancelottis that we had throughout the years, they knew what it meant to manage Chelsea. All this crap that Pochettino comes out with, that it's a project and it's a process, and comparing us to Man City and Liverpool all the time. Just stop. Just stop. Man City and Liverpool didn't have £1 billion to spend. It's just completely ridiculous. And to be honest, I think regardless of how the season goes, unless we win the FA Cup, I think that's literally his only saving grace for this season. If he wins the FA Cup, then I think he'd probably be given another season. But as I said, I don't think that's going to happen, and I think he'll be gone at the end of the season anyway. I think a lot of fans are starting to lose patience now. I think even from what I've been hearing, I follow a lot of Chelsea news on Twitter and such, that even the ownership are starting to get a bit, fed up with him too. And I won't even go into the ownership on this video because I could talk for the rest of the day about them. I might do a little separate video on that further down the line, but I want to get back into more kind of open and kind of topical discussions on the channel before I do that. But yeah, just to kind of finish this video off, it was incredibly frustrating. I think that was our chance to really salvage our season, because it's been incredibly poor up to this point, just way too inconsistent. Players not being good enough, manager not being good enough, and just standards dropping so low that, we're going to be where we are now for a good few years unless there's drastic changes within the club. But yeah, that's pretty much a recap of the game. I've tried to put it out of my mind as much as I can since Sunday, because it's still frustrating even now, but trying to be more rational about it and see the bigger picture of it. But it's still frustrating, and for me personally, I feel like that's the season over unless we manage to win the FA Cup, which is looking incredibly unlikely, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please drop a like, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and as I always say in the videos, if you have any kind of suggestions or ideas for what kind of topics you'd like me to discuss, any Any topic is welcome, and I'm happy to talk about anything. So we'll leave it at that for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you for the next video. Take care and peace.